Dear professors and distinguished members of the faculty, my dear friends, finally this day has come. Today, you graduate undoubtedly from the best business school in France and one of the finest in Europe. What a great start in life. Bravo! Today, we, the people on stage, we welcome you to this lineage of alumni, which has started in 1881 and is now a global community of 70,000 great people that you proudly belong to. Tomorrow you will leave HEC, but I tell you, my friends, HEC will never leave you. It will stay in your minds and in your hearts for the rest of your life. This is a lifetime achievement that you just did. Let us think also to our families, our parents, who gave us life, love, and inspiration. Please join me in giving them an immense thank you. Bravo! Let me have special thoughts for my father, Frédéric Jousset, who graduated in 1965, was a finance professor here in the 70s, and shaped my desire to become an entrepreneur. Sadly, he could not be with us today. He is fighting to survive in hospital. Merci, Papa. Well, exactly 30 years ago, June 92, I was there. I know how it feels like. I got my diploma, I was 22, and I excited, but also like you, probably a bit anxious to find my place in the world. I had no idea who I wanted to be. But the good news is that there's nothing to worry about. HEC is truly the school where everything is possible. It has produced statesmen, sport champions, the first female prime minister in this country, entrepreneurs, lawyers, social entrepreneurs, activists, renowned scholar. In my class, in '92, a girl called Nathalie Bécard decided to become a priest, all the way to be promoted by the Pope François himself in Rome as the first woman ever in Catholic Church to become a bishop. That's where HEC can take you, my friends. Here, we're pushed to explore, we're pushed to push our own boundaries. We learn to dare, apprendre à oser. What a beautiful mantra. But bear in mind that the qualities which made you succeed in the academic world and the knowledge that you get from your professors, that will be helpful, but it's not enough. What you need to strive to thrive in the next stage of your life are different qualities. I personally learned marketing at the time where there was no mobile phones, no internet. You look like me as a dinosaur. Most of what you have learned here will be outdated in 20 years. Now, it's not about playing the rules, it's about improving them, sometimes breaking them, changing them, setting your own. What will make you successful onwards is your ability to take risks, to be innovative, creative, to mobilize and energize people around you and alongside you. I did not find my path at HEC. I was clearly not the best student in my class. I majored in finance to please my dad, but my conviction came later when I went traveling for 6 months in Latin America, learning Spanish, and then by doing my military service as platoon commander. There I found my purpose. I did love having an impact on a leadership role, even small, and I knew from now onwards I wanted meaningful and profound human relationships over any financial considerations. So my first advice to you, don't rush it to your first job. You have plenty of times. You guys probably are going to have to work till 70, 75, even more. Take your time. Travel the world. And maybe, why don't you give a bit of time to charities? You will always receive a lot more than you give. And helping out others will help you realize and will best prepare you for tough times to come. So is life, my friends. It's a bumpy road with ups and downs. Eloïc, you kindly mentioned the success of WebHelp, but you very kindly forgot telling I failed so many times. It took me twice to enter HEC, 3 times to get my driving license. I got fired from my first internship at Goldman Sachs. By the way, they're now my bankers. Yeah! Then, after 3 years at L'Oréal as a brand manager, I started my first company, Clientis, an ambitious SaaS software for hairdressers and beauty salons. Quite a small niche turned out into a big fail. That venture left me so broke, I was 28, I had to move to live with my grandmother, as I could not rent anymore, and I was too ashamed to go back to my parents. Even the beginning of WebHelp was tough. We raised our second round only 2 weeks before we had to file for bankruptcy. I was close. So whatever you end up doing, hold on to your ambition. Never give up. Never give up. And if you decide to embrace the business world, which you might, I can tell you only the recipe for success that I had when I played rugby here on the campus. Just surround yourself with the best players out there, even better than you if you can. You'll see the team is more important than the idea. Great people will always make a great business. Our first hire, our CTO, is still our CTO 22 years later. Never forget that people make the numbers. Numbers should never make the people. When I look back at steering WebHelp through these years, what I'm the most proud of is not the valuation. It's the long-lasting impact that we've had on local communities, but not only creating 100,000 jobs, but by bringing medical centers for our employees, buying buses to transport them as public transportation was not efficient, installing kindergartens, fiber optic connections for work-at-home solutions, in countries like Madagascar, Suriname, Ghana, or Morocco, and that will stay behind us. After WebHelp, another turning point in my life was to become a father of my daughter. And I know I'm talking to parents here. When you have a child, that clearly changes your perspective on the world. I felt the urgency to give back, to devote more time, resources, and energy to philanthropy. My epiphany happened on Mount Everest. Climbing Everest was a childhood dream. I trained very hard. And finally, with my Sherpa and friends, we summited at 7 a.m. on May 23rd, 2019. Thank you. I went through the pinnacle of human emotions that night. The incredible joy of reaching the summit, the dead cold of minus 50 degrees, the pain and fear to lose my fingers or simply die, as 11 people died that night. The guy next to me, his tent was next to mine, never woke up. And on the way down to the base camp, I decided I should listen to my inner voice and change my life. I decided to become now a social entrepreneur, leave the world of value for the world of impact, and focus on my passion for art. Art is part of our human nature. It's a bond between all of us. Men in prehistory knew how to paint their trophies in caves before they could even speak. Art fosters your creativity, your empathy, your tolerance. Hence, art can make society more cohesive. But how do you make sure that art remains accessible, like health and education, to the majority of the population? At Art Explora, our mission is to make art and culture accessible for everyone, exciting for everyone. We've created Mobile Museum, a big truck which will go to remote villages around Europe with a collection of paintings. We design and operate a unique program to bring 200,000 kids to the Prado in Madrid and to the British Museum in London. We are building the first boat museum ever, a huge sailing catamaran, which will navigate around the world and bring along a cultural festival. We have recruited over 1,500 volunteers in 18 months to go to care homes, prisons, just to animate a conversation around art and fight against loneliness. You are very welcome to join Art Explora also. In conclusion, now it's your time, ladies and gentlemen. The world you're about to enter is full of opportunities, but also tough. War, climate change, inflation, poverty. When you read the news, it's not great. That's why probably more than ever, the world needs the creativity, the imagination, the positive energy that I can feel in this assembly. The world needs you guys. It needs you. I have no doubt that you will be successful. No doubt. You will, especially if you go out constantly out of your comfort zone, if you keep challenging your limits, if you don't fool yourself with the promises and the safety of a prestigious diploma. Don't wait for things to happen. Make them happen as you did for HEC. Do not fear failure, but be terrified of having one day regrets. Don't let money, social pressure guide your choices. Try to find your real purpose, what really excites you, what you're good at. You and only you have the power to create your own destiny. So be an entrepreneur of your life, unleash your full potential, and you will reach your personal Everest. From the bottom of my heart, bravo for what you already did. Good luck et bon voyage. Merci.
Thank you, Mr.